Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Thursday, January 7th, 2021 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I am called to lead by honoring my personal sense of responsibility. And woo, the astro is heating up. I think that what we are seeing in this world is a perfect demonstration of where we are at. And this astro is going to continue to push it. So what we're seeing at the Capitol right now is, in my opinion, the refusal of change and also showing us exactly why we need change. And so change is afoot. And yet, holy moly, we have the moon shifting into Scorpio today. And as we have a fixed T-square energy going on, fixed meaning I shall not be moved, we are going to feel and experience in our own lives and seeing it out there more of this energy of, again, where we need to change and where we are resisting change. Now, it comes back to us. We can lead by recognizing in our lives, each of us as an individual, we are all being called to change. With Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius, all of us are being called to our own personal revolution, evolution. All of us are being called to level up, to evolve, to shift. There's also that call to work together for the greater good, for the benefit of humanity. But again, it happens on, as above, so below. It happens on the individual level, and it happens in the world level. And so we're getting to see it, and yet each of us can feed in by recognizing where we as individuals are called to change. And I have to say at the same time, no matter where you stand in regards to what is happening, to what is going on, it is pushing that change. So, it is happening. So, this T-square today, as well as both Mercury and Venus finishing up in their respective sides. Venus is in Sagittarius, Mercury is in Capricorn. Definitely some high impact energy today. So let's dig into the T-square and then we'll look a little bit at those final degrees. So the T-square, moon shifting into Scorpio, 12:53 a.m. Now that moon in Scorpio does not mind uncovering the dark side. It does not mind uncovering the shadow energy of anything. Moon in Scorpio, after it moves in, is going to be pulling against Mars. Mars at 0 degrees Taurus energy. So we are seeing some of the dark side of that energy. And again, some of, action being taken in regards to the energy of change. Taurus especially, like all the fixed signs can be like, don't move me, you don't, like that kind of feeling. Taurus is probably the most stuck in the mud of those signs, which is fine. We all have our highs and lows, and sometimes that stubbornness can benefit. But again, Scorpio, moon in Scorpio, highlighting the shadow of that energy and what kind of energy what kind of action Mars may take in alignment with that. And then we have those energies squaring Saturn, Jupiter. The moon's not going to quite get to a square with Pallas, but we're definitely, feeling the vibe of it, that patriarchal vibe. That overall patriarchal energy, that is the thing to me that needs to be changed and shifted. And that is the thing that is being held on to with all of its might. So again, recognizing where we as individuals carry that shadow and can do work around it. So again, the energy today, so moon opposite Mars, then we have moon squaring Saturn, moon squaring Jupiter. Jupiter's reminding us, even as the moon squares it, even as we see this shadow, to not forget to be able to hold that vision, hold the light, recognize that the change, whether you like it or not, it's coming like a freight train, you know, like you cannot stop the evolution. We cannot. We just can't. The universe is in control of this whole, of all these shenanigans. So it is happening. And yet sometimes we need to see the dark side, whether it's out there or in ourselves, to be willing to make those changes. So again, we're all being placed in that position today to see it, to shift it. Moon opposite Uranus. Whew. Again, Uranus moving through Taurus is trying to help support these changes that need to be made. That moon opposite Uranus energy. As I describe Uranus energy to clients, I'm like, it's like a tornado, an earthquake happening with a tornado, but then there's a rainbow. So we have these shakeups, and sometimes it can come out of seemingly nowhere. Earthquake, tornado energy. It can stir stuff up, and yet that rainbow energy, it is for our benefit. Moon in Scorpio, we have to face our fears. We have to face where we have our root chakra so dug in the sand. We have to face that we're carrying fears from so many lifetimes. There have been so many lifetimes where, and even in this lifetime, does it feel completely safe to go against the grain? Does it feel completely safe to even on Facebook announce like, hey, this is what I believe? Because you can see, like, there are attacks that happen immediately. So we may have to do some TLC in regards to our root chakra and in regards to our personal world in order to be able to take that responsibility and stand up and move forward. But again, like I said, these changes, these things, they are happening, whether we are supporting it or not. All of this energy also feels very interesting with Lilith in Gemini, and I do feel more and more people are going to be finding their voices that do align with the soul program. So keep that in mind in the background. Also, like I said, very interesting, this also lines up, this astral energy lines up with Venus at 29 degrees Sagittarius. Venus 29 degrees Sagittarius is a call to freedom. It's a call to, feels very bohemian. I'm thinking of that movie, Moulin Rouge, like truth, love, beauty, all of that energy. That to me is like Venus at 29 degrees Sagittarius. And there is a call, again, as we're going through change, even as we're feeling the like, I shall not be moved energy. I have that even in the astro. This to me, I shall not be moved. I'm going to hold on to that patriarchal energy till it goes down in flames. But that Venus in Sagittarius is reminding us of this truer calling within our nature towards beauty, towards peace, towards harmony, towards love. And all of us, like, embracing that just even a little in our lives, hold space for that. Now, Mercury at those final degrees of Capricorn, very interesting to me, because Capricorn, while it can have so many levels of understanding, to me, the place where Capricorn in general is kind of holding space is in, like, holding up the, I don't want to call it what I keep hearing it in my head, holding up the old structures that be. Still holding and maintaining that patriarchal energy. And yet, here it is. It's going to be shifting. Mercury's going to be shifting and meeting up with Saturn and Jupiter, which are helping to move along these energies of change. But with Mercury there in Capricorn, I don't want to say this. I don't want to say these things coming through. Know your enemy is what I'm hearing. But it's not necessarily, patriarchy is not our enemy. It's the old way of doing things. Recognize it, see it. Because we have to know it in order to release it, defeat it, and recognize it again where any of us are carrying it. And I don't know if there truly is anybody on the planet, there probably is, but if there's anybody like living around here who has been able to completely release it because it is so ingrained in us. So again, recognize it and seek it out in your personal self so that we can be a strong, active part of this change. Get beyond any illusion that, no, I'm not a part of the patriarchal energy. Like, as I sit here, there's nothing that immediately comes to me where I feed into that energy, and yet I 100% believe that it's there. And I 100% believe that I am also capable of seeking it out, knowing it, and releasing myself from that. And so I think all of us are called to that understanding that there's these pieces because it feels safe, but we have to get beyond the illusion. It's safe because it's familiar, and yet that change is coming, and we still can be safe, you know? So I also have the playfulness card in reverse. Day may not feel very playful. Moon in Scorpio, a little bit dark, but that energy in Sagittarius, Venus at the final degree of Sagittarius, is like, please just make a little space for a little bit of good in these energies. I also have the isolation card in reverse. I had it in reverse earlier this week, and it was like, you may want some time alone, and you may not necessarily get that time. So we've got that again. But again, the work, it really is. It really is deep, and it's for each of us to show up and keep recognizing, evolving, shifting in and of ourselves. So I'm going to leave that there for today. Sending you lots of love. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. And I feel like that is one of the keys to allowing these changes and releasing that patriarchal energy. There is more than enough in the world for each of us. You have the power. They say the better it gets, the better it gets. If I interrupt myself, I totally just drop it all. So you have the power, and stay curious. Namaste.